Hi, and welcome back to Revolution English. Today I would like to talk a bit more about this word revolution. In another video, I mentioned two meanings of the word. One is a sudden and often violent political change. Now, history is full of revolutions. This video clip here was meant to be the French Revolution, and in this sense, the word revolution is related to the root word, or the most basic version of the word, revolt, which means to reject the authority of another. And this word can be used as a verb or as a noun. As a verb, you might say, the slaves revolted against their king. As a noun, you could say, the slave revolt was crushed by the king. Other similar words would be insurrection, or uprising, or insurgency. But revolution can also be used to mean any sudden change in the way people think about things or in the way they do things. About 200 years ago in Europe, there was an industrial revolution where people started using machines a lot more. You may have heard the expression information revolution, having to do with the rise of computer technology, or green revolution. Sometimes companies will use this word revolution to promote their products or services. They might say this is a revolutionary product. Of course, that has nothing to do with politics. And here is another totally different meaning of the word revolt. Revolt can also mean to cause intense disgust, to be very unpleasant or shocking. So, for example, I might say I went to a restaurant and I ordered some food, but the food was so revolting that I could not eat it. Or perhaps someone went to an office party and they got drunk and someone said their behavior was revolting. So if you see or hear something that's very disgusting or offensive, you can say, oh, that's revolting. But let's get back to the other meaning, having to do with the idea of a wheel going around and around. And here's where it gets a little bit complicated, because English is kind of messy, and often words that are improperly used become commonly accepted. So, a wheel does not revolve. A wheel rotates. Rotate means to turn in place. Revolve means for one thing to go around another thing. So, a wheel rotates. This ice skater is rotating. Other words you can use would be spin or twirl. So when something rotates, it rotates around an axis. The axis of the Earth's rotation looks like this. Very similar word, the wheel on a bicycle or on a car, the center part, this is the axle. Now, the most classic example of revolve is we say the planets and the Earth revolve around the sun like this. But again, revolve also has another meaning, to put something at the center of attention. If someone is very dedicated to their work and they spend all their time working, we might say his life revolves around his work. Parents might say this to a child who is being selfish. Do you think the world revolves around you? But it's become very common for people to use the word revolve when they mean rotate. Even on your car, RPM stands for revolutions per minute. And if you're old enough to remember vinyl records, the speed 45 or 78 was given in RPM, which stands for revolutions per minute. So now you know some proper uses of the words revolt, revolve, and rotate. We'll see you next time.